So we are constantly trying to recruit specials. It is fair to say recruitment has certainly dropped off, probably post-COVID really, and we lost a number of specials. Have never got to the same level since, but we are constantly trying to recruit, and where there's willing and suitable volunteers, we do progress them through and get them, deployed locally as much as we can. Funny enough, we've just had a new special superintendent start for our area who I met with last week, and she's got loads of brilliant ideas about how she's going to maximise the specials that we have got and use them in more of a borderless way. So, specials have traditionally been very local to one area, and we don't have a huge amount in the Crosspoint and Rochford district at the moment, or certainly not ones that are giving significant numbers of hours. We have ones that do here and there, because of course they've got full-time jobs, most of them, and they're fitting the hours in where they can. But she's looking at utilising the specials for the whole of the south, so Crosspoint, Rochford, Basildon and South End, more of a one team, so we can get them more deployed en masse to do real problem solving stuff as well. So rather than having one special turn up and do a patrol, every now and then, you might see an influx of specials for a night for a specific problem. So that's what we're looking at. But yeah, recruitment continues. We're getting them out and speaking to Sarah, the new special super. She's really keen to get out to our community engagement events and really sort of push this specific specials recruitment side of it, which she's an expert on, more so than I am. So yeah, we're trying.
Okay, thank you.
We have got a community specials programme, so if the parish council wants to promote someone individually, we're very open to that. But we also got the business employee sponsored specials. So if any of you know a business who might want to release one of their employees to be a special constable in their local area for a number of hours a week, again, we're happy to work with them to do that. So we're really, really keen to have more specials. Sorry.
Yes, gentlemen.
You've still got a challenge to get up to the 600 when I was part of the command team. But anyway, that's another story.
Very true.
And the employee-led support of policing and all of that. Anyway, that wasn't the point I was going to talk about. So, congratulations to you, Roger.
Thank you.
For what you have done to increase policing numbers. Because you'll probably put me right with the correct figure, but it's certainly at the highest it's ever been. And that is a collection of central government money combined with you making a very powerful case on numbers. 3,900, something like that?
So we are 3,755 officially, but unofficially 3,829.
Okay, well it's always a moving picture. But it did concern me the other day when I spoke to a police officer, and he indicated that 6.5 years in for him was now considered to be long service. I'm sure that was a bit of an exaggeration. But you might like to comment a little bit on morale, experience levels within the force, because the numbers side of it is super.
Yeah.
But of course, if you're losing experienced cops, that is a concern. So you might wish to comment on that, because it's a complete picture rather than just about numbers. The other side that I'd like to also develop is when I led the administration here in Rochford, we set aside £120,000 for community safety initiatives because of my passion in community safety. I'll be honest, we found it a little hard to spend it because you go out to parishes, some of my colleagues here will know how hard I pushed it in parishes, but you referred a little while ago to sponsor a cop, and I'm well aware of the debates about high profile policing and the effectiveness of a single bobby walking around the town and whether or not that is effective use. But on the other side of that, that gives public reassurance. Are you saying that there is a scheme for sponsoring a cop that we could actually have high-vis policing around the place? So there's a few things rolled up there.
So the second one is probably the easier one. So take the example of Epping Forest District Council. They sponsor a pod of 4 police officers who are then active in their town centre, and that is incremental to the town centre patrols they would otherwise have. So yes, that's probably the sort of number that works. Is you're right, one doesn't get you very far, but a group of 4. deployed around the town centre, keeping it safe, appears to be making a difference. You may wish to comment on that afterwards and tell me how wrong I am. You are limited to do so. On the other question you had about the policing numbers, so yes, it's an expansion, a net expansion, 905 over the last 6 years, which is a lot. You know, it's taken us from 3,850 to 3,755. To get there, we have had to hire over 2,000 people. Of those 2,000, about 1,950 are still with us. So you can work out for yourself, 1,950 out of 3,750 is 40%. I know you were going to tell me that just like that. So 40% of our police officers have less than 5 years experience. That is, I think, what they technically call a heck of a training charge. So we are putting a lot of training in. We have retrained the vast majority of them. It's not been, we haven't really experienced a massive increase in churn. So we've always lost, when we were 2,850, it was about 200 officers a year. Now with 3,750, it's about 250 officers a year. Some of those are going at their 30 years when they get the full pension. Some of them go 20 or because life changes and you want to move on. A number now and always have gone in the first 3 years when they work out what policing is really like, and it's not for them. And that's the right decision. If it's not for them, it's not for them. We need to make sure that we are recruiting essentially the right people and not seeing a huge number. I have to say, with the sort of recruitment we've been making, of course, that percentage of the total force leaving in the first 3 years is up, because the number of people who are in the first 3 years is up. Does that make sense? So there's quite a bit of activity there, but it's not as if we're seeing an awful lot of people. We're not seeing a greater percentage of joiners leave really than we used to be, a little bit more, but not a lot. So the challenge then really is, with 40% of the service with less than 5 years experience, what does that mean? Well, it means we have a lot of people in abstraction and training. We've got 600 people in the police training college right now who are not on patrol. So 600 out of the 900 expansion are very actively being trained. Of course, as the age and the experience matures, we'll see more of our cops on the streets, because they'll be trained to be able to be out on independent patrol, doing more of their own things, being able to be deployed more proactively by the chief inspector and his colleagues. That's going to be really the work of the next 1, 2, 3 years to actually see that happen. My job is to keep lobbying the central government to make sure we actually get the money, the funding, to train them properly. And of course, as they become more experienced, gain extra skills, we will pay them more, because that's how it works, as you well know.
It's going to take the motivation to retain them.
Yeah, exactly. So even if the numbers stay the same, the individual officers, as they become more skilled and more mature, are going to cost us more. And that's as it should be, and it's what we want, but it's still an ask. Do you want to add anything to that?
All I would say, you picked up on, obviously you spoke to about 6 years in and was considered to be experienced, and I would say in your sort of frontline response team, that's probably a fairly accurate picture. But that's because those more experienced cops are going on to other specialities, firearms, our operational support group, who have been expanded in recent years. So the local community still get the benefit of those experienced cops. They're just not so your LPT officer, a local policing team officer. Yes, 5, 6 years you might be the most experienced cop on the team, but actually when it goes wrong and we have to call these other specialities in to support, that's when you've got your experienced cops who've been there, done it, and of course in the supervision roles as well. So while they might not have great experience, we've got good experienced cops in those leadership roles, and so yeah, it's not as bad as it sounds on the face of it.
Thanks for that. Thank you.
I know we've allocated time, but
No, I think we're ready to go.
one last question from the lady there.
My question is very easy, actually. So I'm from the parish council, and for the financial year 23
don't know if they're on our website at this point in time, but if you ever need them, let me know, and I can definitely, that'll be one of my notes that I'll be taking back to put them on our website. They should be on there, but if they're not, I'll absolutely correct that. But if you ever need them, please don't hesitate to email me, because that's
fine for a parish council, but if you're a church hall and you want some CCTV to make your car park safer, they don't know who to contact, and that information should be freely available on the website.
Yes, no, I completely agree with you, and like I say, I will make sure that they are put onto the website if they're not already there. But we do have them, as I think it's been, we've had a challenging year, I think, in community safety at Rochford, I think it's fair to say. We've had a lot of team sickness, and we haven't had a community safety officer at Rochford. So things haven't run as smoothly as we would have liked, but we are looking at now hiring a community safety officer. We've got a part-time person there at the moment, so things will hopefully, touch wood, I was just touching wood earlier, touch wood, a lot
Can I have the
smoother.
name of part-time community safety officer at Rochford, please?
Yes, absolutely. So it's Darcy Newton. Darcy Newton. I can write it down for you, or I'll take your email and send it to you. We've kind of we brought her over part-time because the need was there. We are working really closely. We've got a new interim strategic director in for projects who's helping us with our community safety, because it has been just me for quite some time now. And as much as I would love to be able to do all of the things, because community safety is genuinely my passion, it has been a really difficult year. But things like that, I can fix those quite easily. And if you speak to people who've got to say, I can't find them, I'm not sure, please direct them towards me, because I'm more than happy to help in any of those situations. Because the more money, I'm going to say about the question you asked, that it's been my favourite time in my career, I have to say, because we've had so much money, and it's never like, I know, it's terrible, it's exciting and terrifying all at the same time, but we've been able to put in some really incredible things into Rochford, that are kind of, and I'm really guilty of this. I sit in the office and I do all these things and we get all these things about, and one of our priorities is actually promotion and to promote what we do and our partners do, because we are terrible at it. And I'm happy to admit that we are terribly at it, and we're really trying to improve, because there are so many amazing things that are happening that we're doing. So one of my things for this year is that we are going to be promoting, so you will be hearing from me very, very shortly.
Roger, can I just ask one question, just quickly? Can you actually put a communications out on who the community safety officers is to all the councillors? Because I hadn't got a clue what you just said, who they were. And we've got 5, 6 RDC councillors here, and I don't know if any of us knew. So if you could actually put that out, it would help you with the comments and that thing.
I've been up with the council members meeting things. I've been
I know.
Yeah, I've been trying to get around as much as possible. Darcy is kind of very new in stepping into it. I've managed to start, but
She's good as well.
she's incredible. So we are very lucky, and we're hoping to hire more. So we'll be back and better than ever, I should say. Thank you.
And actually, Glenn, I'm just wondering whether it would be not just for Rochford, but actually we get all of the community safety partnership plans because we sponsor them.
Absolutely.
We could maybe post them all on the Police Fire and Crime Commissioner
I think
website.
absolutely, yeah.
If that might take the burden off some of the councils who might be struggling.
Very much so, yes, I think that's a great idea.
Roger, I think it also just launched their own community safety development fund as well. We've just launched your community safety development fund.
Give me Anna a microphone.
So we just launched the PFCC Community Safety Development Fund as of today, and we have over 300,000 available to bid for. So what I can do is, if I share information, we put them in emails, didn't we? So I'll just send information around to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good.
Could that be allowed to parish councils as well?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good. I are we about there?
I do believe so. Thank you. We're at 8:15 now, but I think everybody's had a chance to have questions. So I'd like to say thank you for the panel for coming on tonight. And I'd like to say thank you to all of you for coming on and attending tonight. And please do fill out the PFCC priorities.
You won't be allowed out without that.
Yeah, draft priority survey. You can either do it online or you can take a hard copy and send it through to us with the pre-made envelope. Yeah, thanks very much. Thank you so much.
Really appreciate you all coming this evening. Thank you. These are always very useful sessions for us. The feedback we get is stuff that we use. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.